Hi everybody, this is about sage and how I create the sage on Bajerski.com. The sage that I use is from the Alpujarras. It's here in front of me. I bought 6 bags today, so I'm about to start to work on a whole collection of sage to be able to be sent out to all my clients throughout the year. These 6 bags will probably last about 3 months, something like that. So we sell a lot of sage. So what's the difference between a sage that you get from a shop, which is a stick, a sage stick, or my sage? Well, people have been asking me this, and a lot of people are, let's say, returning clients for the sage that I have. And the reason why is because I spent 2 decades working with sage, and what sage works best for me. So whatever my tools are the ones that work for me as a healer and a psychic and a clearer of negative energy in properties, houses, churches, hotels, corporations, lots of different companies, pubs, clubs, wine bars, you name it, I've been to them all. Some houses with over 27 bedrooms, so huge properties. So I first started, like if I give you some feedback of when I first started, I was using white sage, and that's fantastic. But it wasn't just quite right for what I was doing with the cleansing work, especially when I wanted to clear darker energy entities, you may call them, or spirit trapped in between two worlds. That's another thing. So I actually sourced it very locally, so I was really lucky. And yeah, to this day now, I'm probably their best buyer. So it's here, packed like this. Oh, let me show you. It smells gorgeous, by the way. Hard to show you how big it is, but it's that big. So that's one of 6. I'll also show you how I get them. I get these. So let me open it, and give me a second. So I get one of these, and scissors. So what I'm going to do now is just bag it up. So, oh, it smells absolutely gorgeous. So there's the sage. Start putting it into the bag. I could show you what I'm doing, but it means I have to move the bag again. So it's kind of like that. And now I'll push it down so I can get as much, I can compact it as much as possible. Keep pushing it down. And when it's full to the top, I tighten the ribbons, and this is the first stage. Well, actually, the first stage is to buy organic, and the way I like it is cut. I like it cut like this. So there's different forms. Should I show you? So you can get it cut very fine. You can get it cut into a powder, which you can use as eating, and then you can cut it into like a tea type. And then you can cut it into burning, but you can use this as well for food and for tea. So there it is. That's the whole lot in there. It smells divine. So once you've got your organic sauce, because if it's sprayed, then it's just, for me, it's just not the same. I want it organic. I don't want no sprays on. I want it all done by hand. So you can imagine how long they take before this gets to me. It takes a long time. Anyway, once that's done, these have been here now. Actually, I open this up, but what I would normally do is do some healing work on it to begin with. So maybe about an hour. So I would sit with a bag and do some meditation and put my hands on it, or my hands above it, and just do healing work as if I'm working on a client like that. And then maybe, about 40 minutes to an hour. That's the first bit of energy I put into it. Then I start the work. First of all, I have to prepare the room. So when the room is of high energy, that means that the sage is going to be also of high energy. And anything like sage can and does enjoy good, let's say, memory, okay, like a crystal. I work with all my products this way. So everything that I work with is in this way. I only work on a high frequency, meaning that if I'm not well, I will not go near any of my products unless they're there to help me and heal me. But if I am putting products on my website, my name is attached to that and the products have to be 100%. So that's how it comes to you, full. From here, once I've done that after about an hour, and then I'll sit down and go into a meditative state, and then I'll start bagging them up. So I'll have the music on, I'll have good energy in the room, and as I'm bagging them up and I've finished each bag, I hold it and then put it into my singing bowl, which is a Moldavite singing bowl, and just to give it a good frequency. Once that's done, I keep going to the next ones. Normally put 2 to 3 in the singing bowl. That's about as much as I can get into the singing bowl. And then once that's done, I take it out. I might get roughly 12. It's normally about 12. I have 12 of them, and then I sit with those 12 for about 15 minutes and just put good energy into them. And what kind of energy you're going to ask? And it's a good question to ask. The energy that I look for is to pull forward in a room that heals a room and clears the room of any negativity completely. So it's a dual energy, the energy of sage, which is the natural healer, but also it's got an energy in there which is cleansing any heavy negative energy. And lastly, I put like peace. I got to feel the energy of peace coming into me. So when it's finished, I just feel at peace. And that's also another energy that goes into that. And it's pretty simple, really. And it's what I've been doing now for 2 decades. And it's probably one of the best sellers on my website. So it's not just sage, okay? It's worked with, and everything is worked with through my hands. So yeah, you're going to ask now, okay, so what do you do with this sage? How do you use it? How do you work with it? Well, this sage, in my humble opinion, is one of the most powerful cleansers of negative energy in this world. In fact, I don't think I've ever come across anything that works as well as this. And soon as I started the healing work, I started realizing I was making mistakes in the sense of things weren't just how they should be. And people were coming back to me and saying, something's still ain't quite right. And I'm going, okay, well, what have we done wrong? What have I done wrong for, let's say, the negative energy to still be in the house? Because a lot of shamans, a lot of psychics, healers talked about sage. And I got it. Absolutely, I get it. I can see it. And when the shamans are working with sage or Palo Santo, I can see the difference in their energy. So it became really evident that the sticks that I was using wasn't enough. So I was asking myself, why isn't it enough? And then I realized, well, it makes sense. It's the smoke that we're trying to get into the room. It's the smoke that does the cleansing. So wouldn't it make sense, Mark, to smoke the room out? Well, let's give it a try. So I, just out of my own thought at that moment, I got the stick, the bunch sticks like you can buy, and I cut the string off it, and I broke it all up into a bowl, a wooden bowl. And I lit the wood, I lit it, and I kept blowing till it get more and more and more, blowing and blowing and blowing. And it took a while, but then all of a sudden, now it's starting to, the cinders are getting more and more and more, and the smoke is getting more intense. And I remember doing this, it was only a small apartment, and I think it were in Torremolinos. And I'm doing this, it's only like a 1-bedroom apartment, but I decided to just continue. And I got another stick and I broke that up, and I'm thinking, whoa, this is costing me like 24 euros, because the sticks back then were like 12 euros for one of these sticks of sage. And like I broke it up, and then I thought, I need another one. And for some reason, I kept getting this is the way to do it. This is the way to do it. So I didn't care then. I think, look, okay, I broke up 3 sticks that cost me 36 euros in sticks. And I was only getting something like 50 euros for doing it. And it took me 2 hours. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to make any money here, but it doesn't matter. I'm doing it. And basically, I filled that room. I asked the client to leave. I filled that room and the bathroom, the toilet, and the bedroom. I filled it with smoke completely. And I thought, I'm going to leave the smoke in here. I'm going to leave it inside. And there's a reason for that. And that's because I know that there was a negative energy in that place. It was an entity. It was a spirit trapped in between 2 worlds. And I thought, I'm going to just leave it in. And I left and I said to the lady, we went for a coffee and we came back after about an hour and a half. And I said, right, let's open all the doors and windows. Never got a phone call back from that person to say that there's any issue. In fact, about 6 months later, she came back and she had a reading with me. And she says, oh, Mark, it's like a different place. Now, this was the common theme that went through from then on for 12 years. Never had a comeback to any house. And I tell you, if I did, I had no issue to say, right? And there were a lot of heavy shit that was going on in a lot of houses, smashing of glasses, windows, mirrors, all sorts of really freaky stuff. But after I'd done this way of saging, I never had comeback ever. And a lot of my clients say to me, who watched this and say, oh, I did it, but it never worked. And then I go into the inbox and sometimes I might speak to them and say, or did you really do it? Did you really smoke the whole place out? And did you do every single room? Well, well, please do that. And when they do it and they do it properly, there's no issues with no dark entities, no attachments, no psychic attacks. It disappears. Now, that is my experience over 2 decades of working with thousands of clients, working with, let's say, the heaviest of stuff you can imagine. Going into so many properties, I couldn't even tell you how many. Never had to go back. So why is that? It's because you do the job right. So when people say they do something, they just say they do it. But when you really watch them do it, it's a bit like, oh yeah, I eat healthy. Okay, let's go back to your house and look in your fridge. Oh, can't do that. No, don't look in my fridge. Oh, but you said you eat healthy. Yeah, of course you do. So it's like a lot of people talk and talk. That's it. But they don't actually do. So if you follow instructions, it will work. And I've done a lot of videos. So from that point on, I thought, I can't afford to do this really, or else I have to put my price up. Right at the beginning, this is way back. And again, I just by coincidence, I met somebody who was from the Alpujarras, and I said, do you know anybody there who grows sage? And then I ended up finding out of a family that grows sage. So it's a farm and it's organic. And I said, how much would it be if I buy in bulk? And then I worked it out. So like, okay, I can sell this at a better price. And I can do my, well, I wasn't selling it at that time. I'm just saying this now. But then I was like, oh, okay, I can buy it in bulk. And then when I'm doing the house, it won't affect me in the same way as, you know, I've just paid 12 euros for this little scanty little tiny sage wrapped up. So yeah, I was actually buying some at 18 down the road as well. So that was 18 for a bunch of sage. So it was great. And that's how it started. So, yeah, it was fascinating, really. It like looking back to this moment, how fascinating it is. And the amount of people who have benefited from saging correctly has been profound. And like I say, we have now between... Like if I was being honest and saying 80 to 90% returning clients for all our products, that's the truth, which means it works. So cleansing is important. When do you do it? When it feels right. Like, does this room need cleansing? No, it was cleansed a few nights ago. I actually did it. Actually, yeah, I did it on camera because we did a off the cuff. It was like, oh, let's just do a healing session live, and we did it for Richie Allen and a few other people that I've got on my list. And Richie's feeling a bit better. So after that, thank you guys. Just to let you all know, thank you, Richie Allen Radio Show. Please listen to it. It's fabulous. So that was a few nights ago. So the energy still feels great in here. No negativity, no issues, no worries, no fears. So the energy is pretty good. So when it feels low, it doesn't feel right, or if I've been through a physical, emotional trauma, then I'm going to cleanse the room as well as myself. So when do I also recommend saging yourself? I think it's important that you listen to yourself, and a lot of the times healers forget to listen to themselves and they end up burning out, and that's a really common practice in healers and people who work with public. You wait till it's too late and then you're burnt out and you can't do anything for 2 or 3 days. Whereas me as a healer, I think the wonderful thing about being a healer is that you're always cleansing people, so you're cleansing yourself. So you're often asked to go to a house and do a cleansing. So you're cleansing yourself because you actually have to create the smoke in the room, and you're like, it's all over you. So it's a win-win situation. But if you don't do that and you're just like, you know, just a normal person who has a normal job, I think it's important that you listen to your inner guidance thermometer. How am I feeling now? How am I feeling? If I'm a thermometer between 1 and 12, I'm about 10, 11 maybe. But I feel great. I feel great. Mentally, I feel great. Somebody said, oh, I looked really sad the other night. And I thought, oh, did I look sad? Maybe the misinterpretation of looking sad could be looking, being open. I don't want to be false. I don't want to pretend like to be this all the time. Like when I'm doing my work, to me, I do it with like, and when I talk, I'm trying to connect to the spirit world. And yes, joy is part of it. It's important to feel joyful, but walking around with a smile on your face is a brilliant thing, because you know you're trying to bring that happiness out. But deep inside me, there is a happiness that is, let's say, comfortable. I am comfortable in my own skin. I don't need to pretend to be happy or try and act in any way like a lot of people do. And when I'm doing my work, yes, sometimes it can be it can look a little bit serious, and oh, he looks a bit sad or a little anxious. I'm not any of those things. I am in a zone where this is where my concentration energy is, and this is what my face looks like. And when I'm doing it, it may come across as, oh, he looks a little bit sad. I haven't been sad for a long time. I get passionate when I'm talking about something. I get passionate, but never sad, because I've got nothing to be sad about, to be honest. Nothing. And everything that I do, and I'll tell you why that is. Because if I'm sad, I'm no good for anybody. I can't do this work. I have to go home. So I work never to be sad. I work to be filled with this balanced energy where I'm vibrating a good frequency. So I can feel my own body. I know what my body needs to eat. I know what my body needs within rest. I know what my body needs when it does meditation. So I feel I'm pretty observant, but I do fall and I do make mistakes, as we all do. So I just do my best. But yeah, talking about sage, I think, you know, using a wooden bowl, a nice thick wooden bowl, is brilliant. I don't have one here, it's in the back. And always using one of these, because you don't want to burn it. Imagine if that isn't there and you're trying to light it, it's going to burn your skin. So this is great, because then you can stick it into the sage and light it. A few people came up with this a while ago, and that the sticks that we have, these are my sticks. These are the awakening sticks, which are a little bit more money, but the cleansing sticks, where are you? I don't even know if I've got any. There, the sacred, yeah. these are the sacred sticks. If you to take a little tiny piece like this and crumble it up and put it into the sage and then light this, it will then light the sage. And I've never not done that since. So well done, you guys. You're geniuses. Why did I think of that? So yeah, that's it really. So I don't know if I've got any special offers on this. I may have. So I'll leave the link. I'll go and try and find the link. So that's the difference between my sage and other people's sage. I put a lot of pure energy healing into it, and I hope you benefit and feel it. And anyway, even if you think, I don't believe in that energy stuff, no problem. Go to your local store and get some nice organic sourced sage and just try it, give it a go. And like I said, the main secret is to make sure you get every single room and you fill the place out like you're on a road in your car and you can't see in front of you because there's so much fog. And then keep all the doors and windows closed, get out of the house, leave it for at least an hour or two, and then come back and open your doors and windows and let that negative energy out. And I promise you, the house will feel great. And also cleanse yourself and do that often. And you'll be surprised if you're feeling crap. If you cleanse yourself, you'll feel better in 10 minutes. It's incredible. So yeah, I just wanted to, give you all a video about sage and how powerful it is. It's the jet wash for negative energy. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much, guys. I'm wishing you all a lovely day. It's a little bit sad, really, because YouTube are shadow banning me and they're doing everything they can to stop all my videos from being shown. But hey ho, that's the way it is. They're trying to stop us from speaking truth and share anything that helps us become stronger in a natural and spiritual way. So there you go. If you want, you can unsubscribe and subscribe again. That sometimes helps, and press the bell. And most of all, please share this video with all your friends, because hey, it might just help them through their challenging tests in life. Sage is a hero. Take care.